Bismillah. Uh, continuous. Continue the subject of election. Well, the war in Syria and Iraq and Libya, if you look at the cause of this war in these countries, who's behind it? Who financed it? Saudi Arabia? Qatar? Qatar not only finance, also has its own media, which is like a kind of, you could say like nuclear bomb that throw Al Jazeera. They're financing all this war in all these countries, and they create chaos. So they create chaos in these countries. So now, who's responsible for displacement? Who's responsible for containing this displacement and feed them until their country became stable? For sure, the one who created the war, because the one he created the war, he claimed himself like, I'm doing good for them. So if you are doing good for them, think about it. If you are doing good for them, why don't take them to your country too? Why don't bring them to your land, to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Emirat, and why don't bring them there? I mean, feed them, give them shelter, give them everything. Why you have to throw them over Europe? And if you are looking for good for them, it's common sense, rational. Okay. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates. Qatar is the worst because Qatar has media too. Its own media, sometimes make movies, not movies, it makes simulate an event to encourage people to do something. It's whatever Qatar is doing today is exactly what used to be before the TV time in the Middle East. Before the TV time, what they used to do, this group, whatever Qatar doing now, they used to distribute a tape where you listen to that tape and they say on that tape, after you finish listening to it, to get God, reward from God, give it to your neighbor or give it to so and so on, to make those tape goes all over. In that tape, they do simulation for violence. They simulate, like they put the name of somebody calling God, like somebody like killing someone, and the other one, they imitate like there is a war against Muslim and somebody killing the Muslim, and because this Muslim, they just say they pray, they obedience to God, and the other they oppress them, they are killing them and so on. And they imitate that sound of women crying, children crying, and bullet shots and all this. I mean, and they create very strong emotion to the people. I mean, to go do something, to go, I can go to save these people save them and go help them and go stand for them, fight for them. That's what he used to do. I mean, by creating virtual war through tapes. Nowadays became more different. Not tape, became also like image, imitation, virtual war, and being displayed through a TV station. That's how the Qatar now they're doing. They simulate war. They could show you like a town being free, or a town there is a war, and a town there is so or the group in that town already conquer that town or conquer other town and so on. That's how the Al Jazeera they are doing. At one particular time, I went to the Al Jazeera. I want to try what the position of this media. I mean, and I've tried to write something which is different, what the media wants. And I saw them, they don't allow you to write something different. Not only the Al Jazeera itself, including Hezbollah, those in Lebanon, same thing. I mean, all these media in the Middle East, you can't write Even though I was thinking about not only media, it's ABC News, they have a discussion, and I wrote my idea about what caused problem in the Middle East. They said, well, Saudi Arabia never give money for free. Saudi Arabia give money for destruction. Not only that, Saudi Arabia created monster in every country. At any time you want to destruct that country, you mobilize this monster, which is the monster is Muslim Brotherhood. Is everywhere. I mean, this organization, but even Saudi Arabia, said finally, if you follow always reading, the new administration, they admit we create this because of the time there is a nationalist in the Middle East movement strong, and it will remove us from power. That's why we use the religion to contain that nationalism in the Middle East, so to contain them. So now the media is very powerful for creating emotion. Let me give you a simple thing. I got a video clip. See, this is most dangerous to see in the Middle East. You have to be first of all rational. Somebody sent me a clip. It say a tree in the desert, green tree in the desert, and wrote a text to me. He said, okay, this is the tree that the prophet, when he went in the town Taif, he went there, then they started throwing rocks on him. Then he went and he ran away to under this tree and protected himself with this tree. And this tree, look how it's beautiful, it's green and so on. Think about it, a tree over 1400 years still exists. For any human being, thinker, if you are like, think by mind, if you just take the religious perspective out, you will discover that's false. How could a tree will be more than 1400 years in the desert? Survive green, you see it all green, tree green. So, and I asked this person, I told him, where do you get this from? He said, a friend sent it to me. Then I told him, yeah, and the friend who sent it to you, somebody else sent it to him, and so on. I told him, think about it. If you eliminate the religious cover of this subject, it will not be correct. But since it's covered by the religion, become for you is acceptable. Then he started thinking. What I did experiment, same thing. As soon as I got this, I went to someone he doesn't know about the subject. I told him, okay. Actually, if I give him the story as I receive it, he will say, yes, subhanallah. He will say all kind of, create emotion in him, the story. But I came in opposite way to him. I told him, okay, can you imagine, can you believe, is there a tree could be living for over 1400 years, a tree? He started thinking, he said, where? I say, could be in the desert? He said, no. I said, why no? He said, well, tree doesn't stay for too long. I said, yeah, tree is alive. The life has life to it. There is limitation for if living life, there is limitation. Can't just stay forever. He said, yes, that's correct. So see, I came from perspective of I remove the religious dimension from the story. Okay, for him, okay, clear. And then I told him finally the story. I told him the story says tree and so on and so on. And he said, yeah, that's foolish. Why they say like that? I say, yeah, see, I told him anytime you receive a story, religious story, remove the religious component from it, and then and validate it. Does it make sense to you, to your brain, to your capability of thinking? Because most of these people who manipulate the public, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.